know, the more episodes you watch, you get, well, at least I get the feeling that Devi, while yes, she's grieving, and yes, she's a teenager, I really think Devi really comes across as just a selfish person. Okay, so this episode opens with Devi arriving at Paxton's house. And this big emergency was Rebecca. She's applying to fashion school and she needed help with her portfolio. And so this emergency is Devi modeling some of her design so she can get her portfolio together.
What is that?
Tyra says a broken down baby doll is the most editorial look.
So after, while that's going on, you can see this flashing back and forth between Paxton's house and the drama room. So Fabiola is, you know, trying to console Eleanor while trying to find out where Devi is. And so she's sending her a text trying to figure out, like, what are you doing? Where are you?
Say goodbye to my little friend.
Hope you enjoy that.
And so after the photo shoot, Devi and Paxton were sitting on his front steps talking, and still Fabiola's like, where are you? You said you were supposed to be here an hour ago. And so she did like this tracking thing on her phone, and that's how she found out that Devi was at Paxton's house. And then, you know, she ended up sending Devi an email basically saying that you ditched your friend and need to hang out with Paxton.
The most important.
You're at Paxton's house?
Oh God, stop it, Eleanor. I gotta go.
And so at that point, Devi left, presumably to go to the school. So there was this brief scene with Ben and his parents. It's his birthday, and they got him this fugly cake. And at the end of all of that, they end up telling him that they won't be there to celebrate his birthday with them because he has to go on a business trip, and his mom's going to go with him, go with the dad, because she can't stay there with her son to celebrate his birthday. She has to go with the father, who there's something going on with 2 Chainz. He's working on releasing some, I don't know if it was an alcohol or something. It wasn't really clear, but he has some business dealings, and they just have to take care of this on Ben's birthday and go out of town.
We have to go away on your birthday. They moved up the launch of 2 Chainz' new line of spice rum.
And so, you know, they did the whole, you know, you could tell us, you know, if you want us to stay, you could just tell us and we'll cancel and we'll stay with you. They said that without really meaning it. And so he kind of got the feeling that they really didn't want to be there with him, which is quite heartbreaking. And he ended up telling them, no, you know, that's fine. We could just celebrate when you guys get back. And they wasted no time. Oh, thank you, buddy. And we'll, you know, see you when we get back. And they hauled ass out of the house instead of staying to celebrate birthday with their son. But they did give him permission to throw a party. So at school, Devi arrived at class before Eleanor and Fabiola, but Ben was there. And so the teacher came in and basically, you know, wished Ben a happy birthday. And of course, Devi's like, why didn't you say anything? And are you going to throw a party? And initially he said no, he wasn't going to throw a party. But then when Paxton came in and he had the shots of the photo shoot, and he was showing Devi the photo shoot and telling her how hot she looked. Then all of a sudden, Ben was like, you know what? I changed my mind. I am going to throw a party.
You look great here.
You know what, David? I actually think I am going to have a party tonight.
But then Devi was like, well, can Paxton come? And she was like, fine. And then Paxton was like, can Trenton come? And he was like, you know, whatever. Everybody's invited to my house. I'm throwing a party. So Fabiola and Eleanor arrived at class, and they basically walked past her and didn't say anything. So after class, you know, they stop. Of course, Devi's doing her same old tap dance, you know, song and dance about how sorry she is, and you know how she knows she needs to be a better friend. And basically, they tell her that they needed a break from her, and they just need some time to deal with what, you know, their emotions and how they feel about, you know, this friendship. So they just need some time away from her.
Viola and I are gonna take a friend break from you.
I beg your pee?
We just need some space right now.
And she clearly didn't like that. So the next scene is she's in Dr. Ryan's office, still not taking responsibility for her role in this mess, right? So she was, you know, basically saying how she thinks that it's unfair that they've decided to stop speaking to her, even though she's let them down time and time again.
I just think it's super unfair of them to stop speaking to me.
And Dr. Ryan basically said, well, you did ditch your friends in their time of need to do some amateur photo shoot. And she still not getting, understanding how bad she hurt her friends.
Well, you did abandon them to do an amateur fashion show for a boy you barely even know.
And so Dr. Ryan said, I think that this thing with your friends is your grief, and it's basically you not really dealing with the loss of your dad. And so Debbie was like, so what are you saying, that my, the way of dealing with my grief is to remember something that is going to make me feel worse, basically remembering that the person that I love the most is never going to return. And she said, yes.
So I can be miserable and realize the person I love the most is never, ever coming back?
Yes.
And then she ends up saying to Dr. Ryan, I think what I need is a new doctor.
Well, I think I should get a different therapist.
And so Dr. Ryan basically, she was caught off guard by that, but then she thought about it. And she was like, you know what? I think that maybe you're right. And you saw Davy's face. She was like, maybe you need a different approach. Your treatment has to, you need to go to a doctor that may have a different approach. She felt like she had worked with her, long enough that, Davy should be further along in this process. And she basically said that, she agreed. And of course, Davy making it about herself, saying, oh, so you're breaking up with me too? And Dr. Ryan's like, this is not a breakup. And then she basically stormed out of her office. So yeah. So back at home, Kamala and Nalini is getting the house together because she's supposed to be meeting her potential. Kamala is supposed to be meeting her potential husband, and so this grandfather clock says something. I don't know. It was ugly, but and Devi arrived, and she basically tried to spin some lie about how she's going to go over to Eleanor's house or one of their homes because they have to study French. And then her mother was already one step ahead of her. She was like, most of my clients, she's a dermatologist, most of my clients are pimply faced teenagers and they don't keep secrets. So I already know that Ben is having a party. And no, you will not be going to the party. You're going to stay here. Kamala's going to be here to babysit you, which kind of messed up Kamala's plans because she was planning to go out and meet Steve. And yeah, she said, I'm going to be home by 11 because she was going out and I expect you to be in bed by then. So, of course, she was not happy about that. So, later that night, you saw Devi was at the dining room table doing her homework. And I guess she went up to talk to Kamala about something. And then you realize Kamala had snuck Steve in. So, they're all on the bed making out. Devi walks in.
Whoa, Kamala? Baby!
And now Devi has the ammunition to blackmail her, so she ends up letting Devi go to the party. So she arrived at the party. Ben did a little tour. They have this home theater. And, they sat and talked for a while. And her mom was telling her never go to someone's house empty-handed. So she took this little box of cookies or confection, something, I don't know, candy. And he was kind of happy. He was like, you're the only person that actually brought a gift. And so he tried to kiss her. And she was like, wait a minute, what are you doing?
Whoa. Were you just trying to kiss me?
And so he kind of apologized. She was like, and she kind of brushed it off. It was like, oh, no big deal, it's fine. But then he tried to kiss her again. She was like, okay, now things are weird. I'm going to go and get a drink.
No, it's weird. You've made it weird. I'm just going to go get a drink.
So she get outside, and Fabiola and Eleanor are out there by the punch bowl. Fabiola's getting a drink. Davy had heard that Trenton had put his testicles in the punch. And so, before Fabiola could take a drink, instead of her just saying, Fabiola, don't drink that, she runs over to knock the cup of punch out of Fabiola's hand. She ends up knocking the entire table over. The huge punch bowl falls over, and it spills all over Fabiola's white suit. So this is where Fabiola has had it. She basically was telling her that you know, she just wanted one night where she wasn't swept up in her drama, and she couldn't even do that. And how, you know, not everything is about her.
Not everything is about you and your problems.
My problems?
And Devi, of course, brought her father into it. Like, well, I'm sorry that me losing my father was so inconvenient for you, which of course is not what was said. But again, like I said, I really think that Devi is just a selfish person.
I'm so sorry. It's such an inconvenience for you that my dad died.
And so, of course, Fabiola's like, we know that, but the fact that you lost your father does not give you the right to treat us like crap.
I know he did, but that doesn't give you a free pass to treat us like crap.
I don't treat you guys like crap.
And then, you know, of course, Devi would never admit to any fault. So she's like, not really. So she was like, well, basically saying that she don't treat them like crap. And I think Eleanor was like, you know what, she was talking to Fabiola, like, just let's go. And so Devi basically says, I should have just let you drink ball juice.
You know what? I should have just let you drink Trent's ball juice.
And then she started off on her stuff and ended up falling in the pool. So Fabiola and Eleanor just walked away at that point. They just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So Paxton went to help her out of the pool. And one of the good things about the scene is that Eleanor and Eve had a chance to because during the rant, when Fabiola telling Devi off, she, you know, was, you know, when she was telling Devi about how she's all wrapped up in her own life, that she never even, you know, considered how Eleanor might be feeling, you know, with her relationship with her mom.
And doesn't give a shit about her real friends. Even when Eleanor's mom abandons her.
And then she was like, you didn't, you know, really give me any feedback on how you were feeling when I came out and told you that I was gay. And so, but she said it loud so everybody now knows. So now Fabiola, you know, she's come out at this point, not the way she wanted to. You know, it was out of anger, but now she, you know, feels like Devi kind of forced her to come out. So of course she wasn't happy about that either.
Damn it. You just made me come out to our whole class.
But like I said, the good thing about it is that Eve was at the party, and Eve and Fabiola got a chance to talk, and Fabiola asked Eve out, and she agreed to go. So some good came out of that.
Grab food sometime. It doesn't have to be a date. It could just be.
That sounds right.
So after Paxton helped her out of the pool, he ends up giving her a ride home, and of course they talked for a while, and then he leaned in and he kissed her, and she thought felt like she was on top of the world.
I was on fire.
Until she got in the house, and of course remember it's dark, so you know it takes your eyes to time to adjust, and she could see someone in the fridge. And then when the person stood up, it was her. She could see her father, and you kind of see her. She's like frozen in place. And that's pretty much how this episode ends. So I'm going to end this here.